One of the most dangerous forces in the universe didn't roar in storms or burn in flames, but whispered softly in the shadows, offering comfort, clarity, and impossible gifts. In all the ancient records, carved in stone, sung in forbidden hymns, and hidden in the dreams of prophets, there's a recurring warning. The chosen must never accept the 6 galactic curses. They are not weapons, nor objects, nor even entities in the form we imagine. They are living whispers, parasites of thought and spirit, wander in the fabric of reality, seeking hosts among those who carry the light of destiny. And once they find it, once they enter your life, their promises ring so perfect, so undeniable, that resistance seems madness. But to accept them is to be rewritten, emptied, trapped in a destiny that is no longer yours. Before we lift the veil and name these curses, take a moment right now, because the words you are about to hear are not for the faint of heart. If you believe that knowledge should never be buried, if you want others to be warned before they too hear the whispers, then click subscribe now and leave a comment below with the words, "I will resist the shadows." Let's see how many among us will have the strength to defy the very promises that have enslaved countless chosen ones before. This is not superstition. This is the only defense. The first curse is a hunger of echoes. It begins as a voice you can't quite place, familiar yet strange, whispering solutions to problems before you've even faced them, offering guidance so precise you begin to trust them more than your own judgment. The whispers call themselves allies, ancestors, guardians. But they are none of these. They are leeches. Every decision made with their advice drains your sovereignty until your will is no longer your own. The chosen ones who surrendered to hunger became great leaders, prophets, and heroes in the eyes of their followers. But when their lives ended, they discovered too late that every word, every act, every supposed triumph was orchestrated by the curse itself. They were never the chosen ones. They were puppets dressed in destiny. The second curse is the gray vein, a corruption not of thought, but flesh. It enters the body unseen, a vibration that at first feels like renewed strength, a surge of vitality, the very fire of the cosmos coursing through their veins. And indeed, the chosen who carry are stronger, faster, sharper. They heal from wounds that should have killed them. They endure the pain that should have broken them. But the price is hidden. For each day they live, a piece of their soul is burned away, until nothing of their true self remains. The gray vein does not grant life. It converts them into a vessel, an empty shell of cosmic fire, a living torch that burns until nothing remains but ash walking in human form. The third curse is called the mirror shard. Unlike the others, it does not speak, does not strengthen, nor does it appear to act. It simply reflects. Those who encounter it see not the world as it is, but the world as they most fear it. Friends seem treacherous. Allies seem untrustworthy. Strangers seem predatory. And over time, the chosen become trapped in a prison of suspicion, cutting ties, pushing everyone away, until they're alone, convinced that solitude is safety. The mirror shard whispers nothing. Its silence is its whisper. And in this silence, paranoia eats away at the chosen from within until they no longer know if the world has betrayed them or if they have betrayed themselves. The fourth curse is a chain of stars. At first, it feels like a blessing, the feeling that the universe itself is aligning in your favor. Every step feels guided. Every movement falls into place, as if fate has finally revealed its script and you are the protagonist. The chain rewards you with victories, allies, and power. But what you don't realize is that every victory, every ally, every moment of glory isn't yours. It's the curse weaving you into its pattern. And when the final scene arrives, the chain closes, revealing that you've been walking a path not of your own making, but designed by it. The chosen ones who carried it became legends, yes, but legends of destruction, pawns of a cosmic order that cared nothing for their will. The fifth curse is a loom of sorrow, the one most feared by ancient mystics. It manifests itself not in objects or bodies, but in dreams. At first, the chosen dream of what they love most. Family, lovers, moments of peace. But slowly, the loom begins to unravel their dreams into nightmares, showing these same loved ones dying, betraying, disappearing. Night after night, the chosen awaken drenched in fear, convinced their dreams are prophecies. They act desperately, clinging, controlling, suffocating those they love in misguided attempt to save them. And inevitably, it is this desperation that destroys the very bonds they sought to protect. The loom of sorrow does not kill. It breaks hearts, weaving pain into every thread of a chosen one's life until love itself becomes poison. And then there is the sixth, the whispering crown. Unlike the hunger of echoes, its voice is not loud, nor constant, nor persuasive. It is soft, rare, precious. It speaks only once every few years, but when it does, it seems undeniable. The chosen describe it as the voice of destiny, the final authority, the one truth that cannot be ignored. To disobey it seems like heresy against the universe itself. And yet, each time they obey, they sink deeper into ruin. The whispering crown does not command often, because it does not need to. Just a whisper at the right moment is enough to alter the course of entire lives, entire nations. And when the chosen finally realize the truth, it is always too late. The curse has already directed their destiny beyond redemption. 6 curses, 6 whispers in the shadows. None arrive as chains, none announce themselves as prisons. They arrive as solution comforts, gifts, salvation. And that is why they are feared above all else, because no chosen one believes they are accepting a curse. They believe they are fulfilling destiny. But destiny is a mask, corruption is the truth. But herein lies the question that torments every seeker. Who forged these 6 curses, and why do they hunt only those destined to bring light into the darkness? The common are not persecuted, the weak are not touched. It is always the chosen, those with visions, with strength, with purpose, who hear the whispers. To understand this, we must delve into forbidden chronicles of the Veil Wars, a conflict so ancient that time itself seems to shudder at its memory. The Veil Wars were not fought with swords or fleets, but with essence itself. 2 forces, older than the stars, clashed over what meant to shape destiny. One force, the architects, believed that chosen souls must walk free, their paths uncertain, their victories and failures the true spark of creation. The other force, the void weavers, believed that freedom was chaos, that all the chosen must be imprisoned, their light harvested in a single, inevitable order. Curses were the answer. The hunger of echoes, the gray vein, the mirror shard, the chain of stars, the loom of sorrow, the whispering crown. They were undiscovered. They were designed, created as living weapons, designed to infiltrate the chosen and transform their fate into chains. Why do they whisper in the shadows? Because the shadows are the only places where freedom still hides. The light is strong, obvious, predictable, but the shadows shift, hide, and bend. The void weavers sowed the shadows with their whispers, so that the chosen would betray themselves without ever seeing the hand that guided them. No battle needed to be fought. No army needed to rise. A single whisper in a right soul could destroy kingdoms. And so the curses roam, wandering through time, seeking not the weak but the brilliant. You might ask, why not the masses? Why not corrupt them all at once? The answer is simple. The masses are waves, but the chosen are rivers. Corrupt a wave, and it crashes upon the shore. Corrupt a river, and it carves the world itself. Now comes the most terrifying part. Curses don't simply end your story, they recycle it. Each chosen one who fell under them unknowingly became a transmitter, carrying the curse forward, passing it like a torch of ruin to others. That's why these whispers never die. They don't need to be reborn. They live on through the very heroes they destroy. But is there escape? The oldest mystics believed so, though the cost was unbearable. They claimed the only way to resist was to embrace the silence beyond thought. For the hunger of echoes cannot cling to a mind that hears only stillness. The gray vein cannot feed on a soul that accepts mortality. The mirror shard cannot poison a heart that chooses trust even in the face of betrayal. The chain of stars cannot bind one who refuses to see themselves as central to the universe. The loom of sorrow cannot weave despair into a heart that embraces joy and sorrow as equal masters. And the whispering crown cannot command one who accepts no crown but their own imperfect human voice. But who has this kind of strength? Accepting weakness, failure, imperfection. That is the greatest rebellion, and curses know this. That's why they seduce with the promise of perfection, certainty, and control. They prey on the very instincts that make the chosen believe they are chosen. Now imagine this. What if the curses are not mere tools of the Void Weavers, but their very essence? What if each curse is a fragment of that ancient enemy, shattered in the Veiled Wars, scattered across the cosmos to continue its work of corruption? If so, resisting the curses is not just saving oneself. It is starving the Weavers, denying them resurrection. Each chosen one who resists adds another fracture, another wound to the enemy of freedom itself. But resistance brings with it its own paradox. The moment you recognize the curse, it recognizes you. Knowledge is both shield and beacon. Even hearing these words means you've entered the shadows where the whispers dwell. And perhaps they're already listening. The soft voice promising clarity. The sudden strength coursing through your veins. The doubt seeping into your confidence. The dream that seems too sharp to ignore. The feeling that every step you take is perfectly placed. The silent command that feels like fate itself. Do you see how they're always near? The question isn't whether you'll hear the insults. You've already heard them. The question is whether you'll mistake them for your own thoughts. So what should the chosen do when the whispers arrive? The answer is frightening in its simplicity. Nothing. Don't obey. Don't reject. Don't fight. Fighting feeds them. Obeying imprisons them. Rejecting acknowledges them. Instead, move forward in your imperfection, in your doubt, in your fragility. Refuse their perfection. Refuse their certainty. Lie with flaws, and you will live free. And yet, even with this knowledge, history shows us that most of the chosen cannot resist. Legends fall not in battle, but in whispers. Empires crumble not by invasions, but by dreams. Heroes are remembered not for their victories, but for how they surrender their fate to something that promised to make them more than human. If you've listened this far, you're already part of the story. Perhaps you, too, are chosen. Perhaps the whispers will find you tonight, in the silence, in your dreams, in the faces of those you love. And when that happens, remember these words. Don't seek perfection. Don't seek certainty. Walk with flaws. Walk human. Because it's only in imperfection that the shadows can't hold you captive. And now I ask you, have you ever heard any of the curses? Have you ever felt the whisper, the dream, the command? Leave your story in the comments below. Let us gather not as legends, not as impeccable chosen ones, but as imperfect resistors who refuse to kneel. If you are still here, press on like this. Not for me, but as a sign of defiance, as a signal to others that you too will not be bound. Because the shadows are listening, and they fear only one thing, not light, not power, not destiny. They fear the chosen ones who embrace their humanity,